Okay, good morning everybody. Please raise your hand if you met me before. Oh, yes. Okay, good. All right, some of you, not many, all right? So let me hold this opportunity to introduce myself a little bit. My name is Michelle from International Language and Cultural Center. As our host already introduced a little bit about me, all right? I have been teaching English here at Yale University for 12 years. So this is my 13 years to teach English here. Okay, so today's topic is how to write your resume. But before we get started our lecture, let me ask you, what is the date today? What is the date today? Please raise your hand if you know. What is the date? The date? 11/1. What is 11/1? On November. Okay, what a surprise! 11. All right, November 1st. Okay. Do you know something special about today? Actually, today is a special day. November 1st. Do you know it? Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? 基督徒. So do you know any? Today is a holiday for Christians, right? What is that? Yesterday was Halloween, right? And how about today? Yesterday was Halloween, and today? Oh, very good, very good. All Saints Day. Yes, actually, I prepared Halloween chocolate for you. Right? If you answer questions, okay? The chocolate ball have different color, different face, right? Scary face. So you can pick up one if you answer the question, all right? Okay, very good. Today is All Saints Day, and tomorrow is All Souls Day, all right? It's nothing to do with writing resume, right? Just to let you know, because today is a very special day. So let's watch a video, very short one, all right? Just to tell you today why I
November 2nd became All Souls Day, a day to remember the souls of the dead.
November 2nd.
November 1st became All Saints Day, a day honoring Christian martyrs. And October 31st was All Hallows Eve, which was shortened to Halloween. Well, Hallows is Old English for saints, and Eve means evening, so Halloween literally means the evening before All Saints Day.
So yesterday was a Halloween, but actually Halloween means the evening before All Saints Day, and today is All Saints Day, all right? That's why I prepared chocolate for you, okay? Even for the student who answered 11, all right, which is quite all right because he answered the question, the very first one. Okay, so let's get started, all right? Let's get down to business now. Okay, up here the chocolate ball just to attract you, to get involved in our lecture. Okay, job hunting is very difficult, right? So looking for a job is not easy, and looking for a good job is even more difficult, right? So today's lecture will help you how to help yourself, be well prepared for your job hunting. Okay, who can tell me, today we're going to learn how to write a resume, right? And who can tell me, other than resume, what else we are going to talk about? What else? Yes? Anyone? Self-introduction, good, self-introduction. You want one more, or you want to keep for others? Okay, keep for others, all right? So we're going to learn how to introduce yourself and resume, writing resume, right? And what else? You can take a peek at your notes. Experience. Are you going to learn experience today? No. So you're going to learn how to share your experience, right? Okay, good. And what else? You can take a peek at your notes. Yes. So resume. Yes. Very good. Autobiography, right? So we have several different topics. All right, we're going to have to review how to write a resume and how to write your autobiography, and what else? What else? Come on, chocolate is quite cute. What else? You can take a video of your notes. What else? You can take a peek at like page 7, page 5. A meeting with the beautiful Michelle. Good. Look at one more. Oh my God. What a beautiful answer. Autobiography. And what else? A lot, right? So actually, let's review what we are going to learn about for today's lecture. So we're going to learn how to write your resume and autobiography, all right, and cover letter. Actually, cover letter is more important than autobiography because some foreign companies don't require autobiography, but they require cover letter. Okay, so we will spend more time on cover letter and the self-introduction, how to introduce yourself, and finally we're gonna learn how to be well prepared for interview. Alright, interview is quite scary and very nervous. Okay. So first of all, what is a CV? We say resume, and another name of a resume is a CV. CV means curriculum vitae. Okay, so you can take a look at your handout. Okay, actually I provide two very good samples, right, of the CV. CV means curriculum vitae, which means the course of one's life. Okay, so you write some details about your life, about your work experience, about your education, okay? And another name of CV is resume. Okay, why do we need to write resume? Because we want to sell yourself, right? You want to promote yourself, so you may list a lot of unique selling points, right, in your resume. Okay, so that will contain educational and professional history, skills, abilities, qualifications, and experience, etc. Okay, what's the format of the CV? Actually, there is no certain format, right? No certain format. As long as you make it beautiful, then that's your own format. Okay, so there's no format. But I would say your resume looks like treat the selector like a child eating meal. Right? Why do we say that? Because you can chop your resume, all right, up into easily digestible modules. You know modules? Modules means you feed one by one, okay, one bite by one bite, okay? Because you chop your resumes in several different sections. Okay, but don't forget to use reverse chronological order. Okay, reverse, you know chronological order? Chronological means you make a list of what happened. Okay, you follow the order like elementary, junior high, senior high, university. But you usually use reverse. Right? We use reverse chronological order, which means we put the times around. Okay, so you started from the latest degree, like university, high school, and elementary, things like that. Okay, so even for your work experience and your education history, all right, we all put reverse chronological order. Okay, and just make some relevant information, okay, to make it easy for the selectors to read. Okay, so that's the point. All right, now let's go from the very first part. Okay, the very first part is a header. So you can take a look at our sample here, right? Header. Usually we say header means your name, okay, and your phone number, your email, your address, and even the date of the birth. Okay, so let's take a look at the video. I prepared some videos. Okay, so that will not only will we keep you awake, right, but also make the lecture interesting. Okay, so you take a look at the...
To begin your resume, you need a dynamic header.
Okay, so she's from egcareers.com, all right? So if you are interested in this material, you can just simply type egcareers.com, okay? You can find those relevant videos. Okay, about the headers.
Something that looks professional, but will get recognized. You want to make sure that your name is noticeable. You can do this through capitalization, size, and boldness.
Okay, do you know capitalization? Capital letter, 大写. Okay, so you put capitalization or you use different sizes, okay, and also boldness to emphasize your name or to emphasize your identification.
Be sure that your current contact information is easy to read, and be sure that the information you include is personal contact information, not a work phone number or email. There are lots of resources on the web where you can set up a personal email, such as Gmail, Yahoo Mail, and Hotmail. Whether you set up a new account or use an existing account, be sure that your email is professional. hotchick@yahoo.com or basketballstud@hotmail.com are not appropriate.
Okay, so actually from my point of view, I think Gmail is the best choice, right? If you want to put the email address, the contact email address in your resume, I think Gmail is the best choice. Because Yahoo.com, sometimes we miss some emails, right? That happens all the time. So we may choose Gmail, okay? And this is the header. All right, and the second part is about the job objective. All right, some people say that we can skip this, but I think we still, we had better keep this, because this part will tell the selector, tell your future employer that what kind of job you're looking for. Okay, so let's take a look at the job objective. Okay, as for job objective, this is a first impression about yourself. Okay, and also you let your your future employer know your goal. Okay, and also show the type of the job. So this is very important, especially when a company, right? If a company they're looking for several different positions, like a sales manager, accountant, sales assistant, human resource manager, things like that. If they have a list of a vacancy, then if you just send your resume over, how can they know what kind of job you're looking for? All right, so you better put job objective, all right, here. Okay, so let's also take a look, right, at some tips.
The next part of your resume should be an objective. Some would say that the objective is not necessary, but traditionally they are included and used by human resource professionals to help quickly determine the fit. An objective should be 1 or 2 sentences and can be different for each resume. One tip is to review your objective and alter to include keywords from the job description, or that are tailored more to the position or company you are applying with. Here are a few examples of professional objectives. A position as a support specialist, allowing me to use my skills in the fields of computer science and management information systems.
Okay, so actually this is a good one, all right? So you can take a look at here, all right? A position as, you can just replace some words, right? Like a position as a computer programmer, allow me to use my skills in the fields of computer science and management information systems. Okay, so you can just simply replace some words. Okay, very easy. So like a position as an accountant, right? Allowing me to use my skills in the fields of, right? Just simply replace some words. Okay, then that will become your own job objective. Okay, let's take a look at some good examples.
An opportunity to obtain a loan officer position with eventual advancement to vice president for lending services in a growth-oriented bank.
Okay, here is also a good example, right? In a growth-oriented bank, you can say in a growth-oriented company, all right? Which means you also complement your future company. Okay, you know what I mean, right? Because you look their company, right, very positively. You think they're growing. The company is growing, so you can say growth-oriented or growth-oriented. Okay, let's take a look at one more good example.
To advance sales for an agribusiness organization providing animal health products by utilizing my education and sales experience in related fields.
Okay, so here, let's move a little bit backward.
those experiences.
Okay, so here, utilizing. Utilizing means using. All right, so you want to use, you want to contribute to your ability, your skills. Okay, so by utilizing my education and sales experience in related field. Okay, so you can copy the last part. Okay, simply replace other people's job objective, or become yours. Very easy. Okay, so this is job objective. Okay, and the third part is education. Alright, education. So in the education, first of all, we use reverse chronological order. Do you remember reverse chronological order? What the reverse chronological order means in Chinese? 中文怎么说 ？Reverse chronological order， 我们刚刚说过的 reverse chronological order， 怎么说呢？随便说，你觉得 reverse chronological order？ 刚刚讲过的。对，什么颠倒？什么颠倒？啊，仔细听啊，我会问问题耶。什么颠倒？学历颠倒？时间颠倒。Alright, reverse chronological order. Alright. Okay, so first of all, we talk about education, right? 学历没有错 ，right? 学历也可以说学历颠倒啊，哈，差不多。Okay, so we use reverse chronological order. Now, let's take a look about the education. First of all, we use reverse chronological order. Alright, 就是 start from the latest education, latest degree. 从你最后毕业的那个开始哦。Reverse chronological order, and you put your college education, your degree, and the subjects, including GPA, but only when your GPA is good. Right? If your GPA is not that good, then you can just leave off it. Right? Don't put GPA in your resume. Okay, I also prepared a video for you so you can watch how the expert explained this part. Okay, that's very helpful.
The few remaining things are education, training, awards, technology skills, and references. For education, be sure to list your college or university name and degree earned. Including your GPA and year of graduation depends. New students often will include both, your GPA especially if it is a positive.
Alright, especially when it is a positive, then you can include your GPA, alright? Otherwise, you just leave off it. Okay, and then let's go to next. Alright, so this is the education. Alright, about work experience, alright, usually for your work experience, probably you don't have much work experience, okay? But you may have a part-time job before. If you have part-time job before, then don't mention routine or non-people task. What does it mean, non-people task? 跟人没有互动的 like washing dishes, alright, and doing something without contact with the people, alright, without communicating with the people. Because in your resume, you want to emphasize your skills, right, for teamwork. You know how to work in a team, right? So don't mention about the non-people tasks, okay? But what you can say even you work in a shop, okay? Even you just work as a cashier, right? Work in a shop, or you just work in a restaurant, then you can mention that you work in a team, all right? And you provide quality service, all right, to customers. Okay, you can also say that you know how to deal tactfully with the complaints. Okay, because even your work is very simple, part-time job, okay, even your work is very simple, then you can say that you know how to deal with it, alright, you are willing to deal with customers' complaints, okay, and work as a team, alright, which is very important. Okay, and something else, okay, so you put related skills to the job. Okay, for example, if you're looking for a job in marketing area, right, then you can emphasize your persuading and negotiating skills. Okay, because that's relevant, related to the job that you are looking for. All right. Otherwise, if you put other experience or other skills, then it won't help. Okay, so just to give you some example. Okay, and to something else, right? If you say action words. Okay, using action words is very important. Like a develop, plan, and organization, and organize, etc. Okay, now let's watch a video first. Okay, about work experience.
Here's where your self-assessment should really help. Work experience. As you list your work experience, you want to state clearly the company name and your title. You also want to include the dates of employment. We'll talk about dates in a minute. Just be sure to place this information consistently for each work experience entry.
Okay, do you know consistently? Consistently. 符合的, right? Like you start working, if you have worked before, right? You can start working from now it's 2014, alright? So 2012 to 2014, alright? And next from 2010 to 2012, alright? So you put time consistently, okay? If you have some habit, if you have time gap, we can discuss about this later, right? Let's finish this one.
To give your description of achievements and skills or traits from that experience, I'd suggest using bullet points. Typically, your work experience or your skills listings is what really sets you apart. A couple of tips. Use action words to help describe your skills and achievements. Here are just a few action words. Coordinated, accomplished, created, delivered, demonstrated, implemented, launched, strengthened, unified, processed, initiated, and many others. See your handouts for a larger list of action verbs. Another important tip, you don't want your resume to be a job description of your roles. Include measurables within your statements. Here are some examples. Expanded sales by 40% through increased sales activity, and teaming with marketing to develop strategic incentive programs for distributors.
Okay, so here we put measure, where we put numbers, right, to give the selectors some evidence. Okay, like for example, when you were in sophomore year, you organized a Halloween party. Right? But how big was the party? Then you can say, I organized a Halloween party for 100 people or for 40 people. Right? So you put numbers to emphasize the evidence. Right? So your selector will say, oh yeah, you really did it because you even remember the numbers. Okay? So you put numbers in your resume.
Initiated and implemented a process for compensation reviews within the organization of 400 people. Coordinated 10 industry trade show events with pre-event promotional marketing, on-site activities, and post-event evaluation. All of these statements have a measure or something that gives the employer an idea of the scope of your contribution. Not all of your bullets will have a measurable, but the majority should. Final key point, take credit for what you've done. But don't stretch the truth. If you collaborated with a team to accomplish something significant, say that and mention what your contribution to the team was. I'll reiterate this in my final resume tips, but honesty in a resume is key.
Okay, honest resume is key, right? Sometimes we can exaggerate a little, but not too much, all right? Now, you take a look at page 5. Okay, please take a look at page 5. Page 4. Okay, page 4. Alright, here I would like to mention action words, okay, which was very important for your resume because the action words help to give an impression of a positive, motivated person who knows how to present themselves in business-like way and will be likely to succeed in a variety of working areas. Okay, now let's take a look at the following two examples. Okay, the first one, that's example 1. For my final year project, I had to carry out a survey of patients' attitude to healthcare services for the elderly. This involved interviewing patients in the hospital and in their homes. A database was used to keep track of data collected. This project was finished on time and was awarded a 3.8 grade. This is okay, but even better, right? Better yet, we can use the second one. Okay, devised and prepared a survey of patients' attitude to healthcare services for the elderly as my final year project. Interviewed 70 elderly patients and obtained a substantial amount of data. Created a database to analyze and interpret this material. Completed this project 3 weeks ahead of schedule and achieved a 3.8 grade. 3.8 is equivalent to A minus. Okay, so A minus is quite good because you reach A level already. Okay, so you can compare these two. For example, in example 1, okay, in example 1, we say I had to sounds very positive. 我好像被迫. It feels like I was forced to. Okay, but we use action words like devised, prepared, interviewed, obtained, created, interpreted, completed, achieved. They are very good. Okay, so in your resume, never use passive words. We use action words. Okay, I make a list of action words below. We can also take a look. Right, like achieved, administered, advised, analyzed, assessed, budgeted, calculated, clarified, completed, conducted, controlled, coordinated, created, designed. Right, demonstrated, developed, diagnosed, discovered, evaluated, examined, explained, initiated, instructed, managed, monitored, negotiated, organized, persuaded, planned, presented, promoted, recommended, represented, researched. Be responsible for. You can say I was responsible for, but you put the be verb here. 加上一个 be 动词 be responsible for. That will help you to be reminded. Usually we say I'm responsible for. I was responsible for. Okay, 负什么责任感觉上是责任重大。Okay, selected, solved, supervised, supported, taught, tested, and unified. Okay, they are all action words. So when you read your resume, you can just pick up our handout, okay, and take a look which words you can use in your resume. That will be very helpful. Okay, so that's also I asked you a question before, right? How about if we have time gaps between the jobs? I was hired from 2012 to 2013. But I'm unemployed right now. I take like a 6 months break because nobody wants to hire me. Okay, so how can I fill up the time gaps? Well, there are some tips to fill up the time gaps.
Another area that sometimes gets people that have been displaced is when there are gaps between work experience. There are a couple of things that can be done to help address this issue. Remember, you always can use your cover letter to explain gaps.
Okay, so first of all, you can use your cover letter. We will talk about cover letter later. Okay, so you can use a cover letter, or you can use your autobiography because I told you before, right? Cover letter is more important than your autobiography. But you can use your cover letter. You can use autobiography to explain why you were not employed at that time. Okay, or you can make some story like.
It is never recommended to include specific dates of employment. For example, May 24th, 2005 to January 15th, 2009.
Okay, usually we don't put date, right? We don't put date in resume. We don't say 5月20几号聘雇到8月几号 right? We don't say the date, but you can put a month, all right? You can put months like January, like 2008, January 2008 to March 2010. All right, you can put month. All right, if you have a couple of months unemployed.
Most resumes will feature the month and year. However, if you have a gap of a couple of months, you could leave off the month and just have the year. So 2005 to 2009.
Okay, that's the simplest way, right? You just put 2006 to 2008, things like that. You just put the year, right? Just ignore month. Or
if you are anticipating a gap following a layoff, you might consider taking some classes related to enhancing your career or teaching part-time at a community college. You can also explore consulting firms in your area for short-term work. If all else fails, update your skills and learn something new or that you've wanted to learn, like a computer program. Taking taking the initiative to do some of these things and explaining that you've done so in your cover letter or doing an interview will be an impressive way to breeze past the fact that there is a gap.
Okay, or you can even explain it during your interview, alright? If you are unemployed for a certain time, then you can say that I attended English class because after working for 2 years, I think my English is not that good, right? I'm not competent to be able to do my job better. So I took some English class, okay, or computer program. So you can always make a story, right, to fill up the gaps, time gaps, okay? But don't keep that. You can use a different way, right? You can just leave a month alone. You just put the years, okay? Or if you want to put month in your resume, then you can make a story later, right? You can make a story in your autobiography, or make your story when you have an interview, if you have a chance, right, to be interviewed. Okay, this is the work experience. Okay, now let's move to skills. All right, when we talk about skills, we are talking about the language skills and the computing skills. All right, so very easy. Only 2 parts. Okay, we usually will say, you can say good conversation English, good conversation Japanese. Right, a good conversation Taiwanese. Okay, you can put Taiwanese, the Mandarin, English, and computing like a good working knowledge of Excel, good working knowledge of Microsoft Office. Right, Office means Excel, Word, PowerPoint, etc. Right, so you just make a list. All right, even not that good, you can still say good. Right, usually we upgrade a little bit about our ability. Okay, so this is skills. All right, that's the 5th part in your resume, and the 6th part is interest and achievement. Okay, here when you're talking about your interest, right, never use you can use short or bullet in a bullet, right? Bullets, okay, you can use bullets, all right, but don't put many passive or solitary hobbies. What is solitary hobbies? Solitary means you can do something alone, okay, like swimming, like stamp collecting, right? When we ask the students, what are your hobbies? What are your interests, right? Some people said stamp collecting, right? I was really curious. Okay, if you really collect some stamps, okay, they are not a good example, so we cross this out. Why? Because in your resume, you want to emphasize you are able to work as a team. So you better put like a baseball, basketball, some ball nets, so you can work with other teammates. Okay, so but reading, I keep reading here because if your interest is reading, then you can emphasize why you want to read. For example, here I particularly enjoy Dickens, right, the author, right, for the vivid insight you get into life in Victorian times. Okay, so you can tell them that you like to read because you want to be inspired, you want to be motivated. Okay, if your interest is reading, right? But don't say swimming, because swimming you can do alone, right? It's not a good example. Okay, and something else, okay, about achievement, right? So any evidence of leadership, okay. Usually in the resume we try to emphasize the teamwork and also leadership. Okay, if you have this opportunity to lead, if you have the ability to lead a team, okay, that's even better because they want you to be independent. They want you to be a leader, so you can work with the team and even as a team leader. Okay, so if you were a leader before, like a captain or a coach of a sports team or course representative, okay, like if you work for your project, okay, for like a group presentation, then you can also put in your resume. All right, I have done four presentation with the four teammates together, and I was a team leader. Okay, even you're not team leader, you can still say that you coordinate, right? I coordinated the presentation, all right? When I was sophomore, when I was junior year, right? Things like that. Okay, or you can say the chair of the student society, president of the club, if you one is more common, course representative. Okay, all right, that's the interest and achievement. The last one is references. Okay, some people keep this, people of this, but I think you can simply just put, references are available on request. Okay, so references are there, but if you need my references, then I can provide later. Usually we say that. So you can take a look at the example here. Okay, you can take a look at the second page. References. I'm more than happy to supply this on request. Okay, so you can copy the same sentence here. I'm more than happy to supply this request on request. Okay, or page 3. At the bottom of page 3, available upon request. Available upon request. Okay, if you do receive request from the company, then you can provide later. Okay, you can provide. Usually we have two references. Okay, one is from academic, the other from your employment. Okay, so you can ask your supervisor, you can ask your professor to write recommendation for you. Okay, or you can ask your employer, all right, your former employer to be your reference. Okay, the format is like this. You put the name, address, and telephone number and the email. Okay, so you can contact with your professors if he or she is willing to be your reference. Okay, then you just ask him or she his telephone number and his email or her email address. Okay, you put like this if you do have one. But usually we don't put references in the resume. Okay, now let's take a look at let's watch the video. Right? This video contains from 5 interest, skills, and also references. So let's review the last 3 parts.
Key skills. Whether you realize it or not, you'll have picked up many skills over the years. Some tangible, some less so. Include every IT package or program you have used, as well as any foreign language skills you've gained. And state whether you're at a basic, intermediate, or advanced level.
Okay, usually we have basic, intermediate, alright? If you want to be humble, right, even your English is not good, you can say intermediate, but don't say poor, or never say my English is poor. You can say my English is okay, my English is good, okay, but don't say my English is poor, alright? You can learn later, alright? You can learn English when you are having a job. Okay, and advanced.
Hobbies and interests. Including these is optional. The idea is to give the interviewer a more rounded picture and perhaps something more personal to discuss at an interview. References. It's not necessary to list references on your CV, but you should state the details are available on request.
Okay, that's it. Alright, very easy, right? So this is about the resume. Okay, so you can take our 2 examples in the handout, right, as your reference, or you can go to agcareers.com, right, to find more information. Okay, now let's move to the second part, autobiography. Okay, I also provide an example. Okay, you can take a look at page 5. Autobiography by Emily Jacob. Alright, there are 5 tips. Alright, there are 5 tips for your autobiography. Alright, here on page 5 you can see the short autobiography, and I also put some comments in the bottom. Okay, so in the bottom here's a square, right, a chart. So I put some comments. You can take a look at the second paragraph. Right, 在框框当中的 second paragraph. The second paragraph. Autobiographies are detailed accounts of a person's life, which you have. Okay, please put the S, alright, I just typo, which helps in remembering the happy and sad moments as well. Okay, and one can draw inspiration from tough times in the past and to move on in life with a positive attitude. Please be also reminded that the autobiography should be written with care and responsibility. Okay, so here in the autobiography, well, you can mention your hard time, you can mention your sad moment, all right? And we learn how to lose, we learn how to fail, and then we come back from that, all right? That's even impressive. Now, if you take a look at page 5, okay, let's listen to the autobiography. I recorded my own voice.
Autobiography by Emily Jacob. I was born and brought up in Houston, Texas. Ours is a family of 4, with my parents, me, and my younger brother. The schooling years of my life were toughest. I struggled a lot in my studies. The standardized procedure of education never interested me. I was an average student throughout my academic life. Extracurricular activities like sports, drawing, crafts, etc. were my favorite things. I just remembered that it was the second semester of 8th grade when I stood first in class. However, it didn't serve any purpose in motivating me to take up studies seriously.
Okay, so up until today, or up until right now, you think Emily was not a good student, right? Wasn't she? She didn't study hard, okay? But so here, you were curious. So if she didn't study hard, if she was not a good student, then what else? What's the point I should hire her? Though you may want to keep going, right? So let's keep going. Okay, let's
I enjoyed understanding the concepts more than just memorizing ready-made notes. After completing of my schooling and college in the science stream, I chose to become a painter. It was a weird decision taken by me at that time. Today, however, I don't regret it at all. My career in painting began smoothly, and I was more than happy to grab the right opportunity for which I was waiting so long. Today, I'm happy with my life, enjoying it to the fullest. The positive attitude to face hardships brought out the best in me. Today, I'm looking forward to facing the challenges of life in a positive manner. Autobiography by...
Okay, so here you can see how Emily, right, used her sad moment or tough times to give the selectors, right, even more impressive points. Okay, so this is one example, right? So you can see that. Okay, here. Usually, in autobiography, introduce yourself, right? You mention where you are from and something about yourself, okay? Where you're from is very important because you can take advantages of where you grew up. Okay, for example, if you were raised in a countryside, right? Then you can mention that I was just raised and attended school in South Dakota. South Dakota is a countryside, not a big city, right? In South Dakota, and that background has given me the foundations of a strong work ethic. 工作职场道德、职业职场道德、工作道德伦理 and family values. 还有家庭的价值 because from countryside, very simple, very pure life. Okay, so you can take advantage of where you're from. Okay, if you are from a big city like Taipei or Taichung, Kaohsiung, and then you can say that. Okay, living in a big city has broadened my horizon. So that I have a very cosmopolitan outlook on life. Cosmopolitan 国际化的 international outlook, right? 就是国际化的视野。我们不常讲什么那个国际化视野啊，什么开拓国际化 ，okay, international cosmopolitan or outlook on life. So you can take advantages of the city or the countryside, right, where you were born. Okay, so that's the first part. Okay, I divided to 5 parts. Alright, and then academic life, you can mention the schools you went and degree you achieved, and also academic honors if you do have one. Okay, and then you can say that you are in your autobiography, right? You want to mention that what do you hope, right? What do you hope to achieve in your life, and also the achievement you have been proud of in your career. Okay, if you attended you attended English reading contest, you attended English PowerPoint contest, then you can mention that. Even you didn't win any prize, you didn't win any awards, you can still mention that because it's very proud of you to stand up in front of people and to give your presentation, okay? So you can just say that you joined many different contests or many different English contests, or you joined many different project contests, things like that in your department, okay? Even you just participate, you can mention it, okay? And then you can put your community project, or community worth and volunteerism. Okay, volunteerism is also important. If you volunteer for some work, then you can mention that. Okay, because volunteer will never receive money, right? Will never receive salary, which means you're willing to contribute yourself, even you can't get money, right? You still want to contribute yourself to the society. Okay, so volunteerism is very important. Okay, please mention it in your autobiography. Okay, so the last part, right? Use your resume. Okay, when you write your autobiography, you may also review your resume. Okay, because usually we start from resume and then we go to autobiography, all right? So when you write your autobiography, you may try to review your resume, okay, and summarize the other positions that you have held or the classes attended, all right? Other classes, extra classes, like you attended other classes, like here, 益励讲堂, right? As a lecture series, they are also important. So you can put that in your autobiography, all right? Which is not already mentioned in your resume. Okay, so now, do you have any questions about the resume and the autobiography? Let's review a little bit, okay? We have several parts in our resume, right? Usually we have a first part, headers, and job objective, and what else? In your resume 有好几部分，对不对？今天我的目标就是把它发到完 ，OK。Qualification, good, right? Education, so we have headers, job objective, education, work experience, good, work experience, experience. Skills, right? Skills contain language skills and computing skills, right? And interest, all right? But don't mention any interest that you can do alone, all right? Try to emphasize teamwork, okay? And what else? The last part is reference. Good. The last part is reference. Okay, you can easily say available on a request. Right? Available on request. That's easy, right? And the autobiography, we have also several parts. Okay, we mentioned that already. Okay, now, how many of you already know how to write a resume and the autobiography? Please raise your hand. 听完演讲之后，你已经知道怎么写了，赶快举手我看看。好，还不知道怎么写的，举手我看看。还没有举手的，通通举手。Okay, all right, never mind. Okay, even we listen to the lecture. Okay, I know that probably you are still struggling how to write your resume. I have no idea. Okay, here's some tips. 哎，这已经可以关掉了。Okay, all right, let's tell you. Here is a resume builder and an autobiography builder, okay? If you do have problem, okay, if you do have problem, you can use this, right? Let me show you here, okay? This is autobiography, 社会新鲜人、社会人士，我来进阶、高阶，我来 A 班，社会新鲜人 high quality, okay? And generally, okay, so here we use generally. Okay, my name is Michelle, right? Okay, and last name. Let me show you, right? What we are going to have after we have done. Okay, I can type A. Skip this, alright? Okay, 4. Actually, I have 5. Okay, and teacher. Housewife. Oh, English, of course, right? Not mathematics. Okay, so I can put here. Right, you can see here. This is some example, right? So we can say I can Michelle Wang. I was born in Taiwan on January 1st. I spent my childhood and school years there. I have 5 siblings. Okay, my father is a teacher. My mother is a housewife. As a student, I try to get a good grade at school. English is my favorite subject because I can travel around and communicate with others. What amazing, all right? Okay, so you can start from this, okay, autobiography builder. You can start with, here also we have 履历, okay, resume. Okay, again, let's see what happened, all right? What will happen? Michelle. Okay, what's the Pujiganti universities? So after you finish all, right, even the clubs or the awards you received, right, your previous job, okay, and your certificate, English language ability, computer abilities, skills, okay. So here, education. All right. After we finish it, you send this out. You can see here, right? So they put your resume into a very good format, right? And then you can modify later, right? Even if you don't know how to start it, you can start with a resume builder, okay, autobiography builder, right? Even those kind of builders are quite popular in overseas, in America, in the United States, in the UK. People use resume builder or autobiography builder. Okay, so you use this builder to start with your resume and autobiography, and then you can change, like you make some changes. Okay, of course we don't want to copy it, but you can make some changes according to what the format is. Okay, alright. So here you just get start, good starters for you to start your resume. Okay, after you have done your resume and your autobiography, if you need somebody to edit your English, then you can go to ILCC. We have a writing clinic, 写作咨询. Okay, you just send your resume and autobiography over to ILCC. They will make an appointment for you, so you can the teacher, alright, the teacher, like we have Jean, Ashley, Betty, Nikki, alright. We have some teachers. Okay, Jasmine. We have some teachers there to help you edit your autobiography and your resume. Okay, it's just information. Alright, now let's move to cover letter. I told you cover letter is more important than autobiography. 大部分的外商公司不要你的自传，它要你的 cover letter. Okay, because cover letter will help them to decide if you are worth to be hired or not. Right, so cover letter is even more important. Okay, so you take a look at page. I gave you a very good example on page 6. Okay, cover letter. There are so many names of cover letter. You can say cover letter or covering letter. Motivation letter or motivational letter, letter of motivation. Okay, they all named cover letter. 求职信. Okay, 求职信. The 求职信 goes with your resume. 通常把求职信放上面，求职信放第一页，然后第二页就是 resume， 然后一起寄出去。autobiography 他不管，他管你爸爸做什么，他管你几个兄弟姐妹哈。其实外商公司他不要你的 autobiography， 可是他要你的专业。They want your skills, your professional skills. Okay, so there, cover letter means a letter of information attached to or accompany another document such as resume or with a CV. Okay, 求职信. Okay, now before we start from here, let's watch another video, right, which introduces
other things
cover
along the
letter.
lines of resumes, your cover letter and applications. You should always include a cover letter with your resume, and it should be customized for each job you apply to.
Okay, you don't use the same cover letter to every company, right? You want to customize 就是客制化。每一次要应征一个公司的时候，你的 cover letter 就要重写啊。那你不用重写，你只要改前面啊，稍微改一些。当然你不能一直don't say to whom may concern。我们都写什么近期者 ，which is not a good idea. Alright, if you know the name, alright, if you know the name who are going to select your resume, your cover letter, then you put their name in your cover letter. Okay, that will be more professional.
A cover letter is an extension of your resume and lets you be a little more creative and expressive of your skills, experience, achievements, and overall personality. There are a lot of benefits of a cover letter, but one of the big ones is to go more in depth. For example, if you have a gap in work experience, you studied abroad, or to explain a relevant project you worked on and want to highlight in more detail. Format is similar to a business letter. Make sure that you address the letter by name, not Human Resources Manager. Internet research.
Human Resources Manager. Human Resources Manager. What's a Human Resources Manager in Chinese? 人力资源部门经理 right? You don't say to Human Resources Manager. Okay? You may want to use the name instead.
Typically can get you the answer, or perhaps a contact that informed you of the position. If all else fails, pick up the phone and call. You can ask the receptionist for the name and spelling of the Human Resources Manager. Your opening should be something that will catch their attention, and the body of the letter should explain more about yourself and work experience. To close the letter, be aggressive and ask for the interview. The letter shouldn't be lengthy. One page with simple, short paragraphs is best. And like your resume, be sure to spell check it.
Alright, so before sending out, you always check the spelling, grammar, and everything. Okay, now let's take a look at page 6. Oh, by the way, I brought a very good resume, but not English, which is in Chinese. Okay, he was my former student, Zhang Kaimi. Have you heard of him before? 没人太好了。他知道我出卖他了哈，因为这本是我跟他要的。Alright, so you can take a look at how he organized his very good resume, or even in Chinese, but the format is very good, so you just pass around. Alright, now let's take a look at page 6. Okay, page 6. So here we start. When you write your cover letter, we use business-like. Right? We use business-like letter. So you start from the date on the very top of your resume. Okay, here we start with the date, and then you put your address here. 这个是商用英文的书信格式 ，alright? You put your address here, and then the name, alright? The name of probably the name of Human Resources Manager, okay? But if you don't know the name, you just pick up a phone, and make a phone call. Ask, would you please tell me what's the name of your Human Resources Manager? Okay, that would be very polite. Okay, if you can put the name here, then that's perfect. Okay, so you take a look at page 6 here. Alright, there are some tips in your cover letter. Okay, and here you put the name. If you know the name of the person in the company you write into, then use it. Or you can make a phone call to find out the name, okay? And you take a look at the first paragraph. Alright, usually in the first paragraph, okay, here we said, here the sentence, I was very interested to read your advertisement for graduate training on the University of Kent vacancy database as it precisely fit my career points. Okay, so you see that if you're in the first paragraph, usually we start with the goal, right? What kind of job you are looking for, and also you emphasize where you found the information about the vacancy. Okay, so the first paragraph you start from 你要找什么工作啊，还有你在哪里看到的新闻。Right, for example, if you're applying for an advertised vacancy, state the job you're applying for and where you found out about it. OK， 中文也一样，中文我们会写说，非常荣幸，非常荣幸呢，得知在哪一份报纸几月几号的报纸看到你们贵公司的招募资讯 ，OK， even in Chinese we do the same, alright? So here, if they have a list of vacancies， 来，像他们同时要找很多人，譬如说每天都会看到的一个新闻就是长荣集团、长荣航空哈，长荣集团找很多有那个仓储的，有煮饭的哈，有餐饮的，有那个机组人员的哈，有空服员的，有机师的，有什么什么 ，right？They make a list of vacancies, right? If you just send over your resume, they don't know which job you are looking for, right? So you may put the job title you're looking for, right? First of all, you put where you found the information, and then you emphasize which job you are looking for, okay? In the first paragraph. And then the second paragraph, okay, here. In the second paragraph, right, usually we say what attracts you to the particular career. Alright, 为什么我要做这份工作 Okay, so here's some example, right? You can take a look at. I highlighted some, I underlined some sentences, right? In the second sentence, in the second paragraph, alright, I underline. This is a career which will enable me to use not only my interest in business and finance, but also my skills in working with people, both in an advisory and managerial capacity. Okay, so here in the second paragraph we say where we found the information, okay, and which job you're looking for. And the second part we start to say that why do you want to get into this career? Because you're professional, because you have a capacity to work in this career. Okay, and then the second part, the third paragraph, alright, the third paragraph you want to show that you have researched the career carefully. Right, here you can also say what attracts you to the employer. Alright, here you want to emphasize this employer. In the third paragraph, 你要说的是为什么你要进这家公司？这家公司有什么好处？就像我们刚刚看到的growth-oriented company。在逐渐成长、一直起飞的逐渐成长的公司 ，growth-oriented company. Okay, so here, alright. If it is a small company, alright, then you can say you prefer to work for a small, friendly organization. Okay, if it is a big company, then you can say that you admire, alright, you admire the growth-oriented company, or you can say that they provide well-planned training. Okay, 因为他们有完整的教育训练因为他们有非常好的 welfare， 这些都是你就可以把它放进去。If it is a big company, right? If it is a small company, then you can say I prefer to work in a small and friendly atmosphere. Okay, so you can cooperate with the other people better, things like that, right? 这一段呢，一定要去赞美一下这个公司你要去应征的公司，让他知道，你对他们公司有点了解不是随随便便乱枪打鸟不是。Okay, and then the following paragraph. 我们可以看一下 the importance of assessing customers' need and providing clear and accurate information in the response to those needs. Okay, 这一段要讲什么呢？ So gives evidence of people's skills. Okay, so here in this paragraph, okay, you try to emphasize your skills, your capacity, alright, your professional abilities. It is a good idea to emphasize the qualities and skills which are particularly relevant to the vacancy. 为什么人家要请你？因为你有能力，什么能力呢？相关的能力，或者是 related particular abilities relevant to the vacancy. Right? Summarize your strength and how they might be advantage to their organization. Okay, 这要说服这一段开始。就要说服为什么人家要请你因为我有上过什么什么课程这个课程呢刚好就可以运用在什么什么什么方面所以 try to give them some impression cover letter 不要讲你们家人不要讲你兄弟姐妹不用讲爸爸妈妈就讲你跟这个公司的关系。Okay, and then the last second paragraph gives specific evidence or relevant skills for the job. Alright, if you have one sample words before, then you can put information in this paragraph. 刚刚上一段不是在讲说我有什么能力，专业能力吗？下一段呢，如果可以举例的话更好譬如说 ，for example， 我参加过什么什么什么 ，alright, I organized 什么什么 ，I coordinated 什么什么什么 ，alright, coordinated some fairs， OK， 像什么我们的教育博览会，对不对？讲这些都还可以把它加上去。Okay, and finally, don't forget to emphasize you really want to be interviewed. Okay, last paragraph. In the final paragraph, okay, indicate that your availability for interview. Mention any dates that you will not be available or any days you will be available, because you are probably, some of you are master, a graduate student, some of you are senior, right? Senior year students, okay? So senior student, junior student, even if you're looking for a part-time job, you are still a student, right? So you have to attend to some classes. So you just mention that I'm not available on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, things like that, right? Tell them that which day you are not available, or mention, indicate which day you are available, okay? So they can arrange an interview for you if they are interested to meet you. Okay, so and they also say that you look forward to hearing from them soon. Alright, looking forward to hearing from you soon. Okay, it's very simple, very important. Okay, so here, and finally, print your name underneath your signature. Okay, so usually, because that's legible. Legible means readable， 可以看得出来。有时候我们的 handwriting 太潦草了，对不对？我们就要打字。Okay, but don't forget to sign. Okay, here it said one graduate recruitment manager claimed 20% of letters arrived unsigned. Okay, which is not good. Probably they just throw your cover letter away when they see any cover letters without signatures. Right, they just throw it away, because if you sign, when you sign your cover letter, which shows that how you engage, how you care, right? And also this is true. 我们签名就是证明以上纯属事实嘛，还是一定要签名啊，记得签名。Okay, cover letter, 因为它是 letter， 我们不签在 resume， 不签在 autobiography, alright? But cover letter is a letter. Letter we use a signature, alright, in the bottom of the letter. Okay, any questions? Okay, now let's pause, alright? And it's time to take a break. Okay, alright. You can speak Chinese here, alright? Cover letter 我们要写什么？第一段是什么？第一段要写，从哪里得到的讯息 ？Very good， 来，从哪里得到的讯息？有不同颜色，从哪里得到的讯息？第一段还有，你要，为什么要做这工作？在第几段？第二段，好，第二段。那第一段呢？除了在哪里看到这个讯息之外，还有我要找的是。要应征的职位 ，alright? If they have a long list of vacancies， alright? 那你要跟人家说你要应征什么 ，OK？ 第二段就是为什么要投入这个工作，对不对？为什么呢？因为我对这个有兴趣啊。然后第三段呢？第三段要谄媚了。第三段要写什么？说公司的优点，对，因为他们公司很大，太好了；因为他们公司很小，也太好了哈。Friendly atmosphere，right？ 所以怎么样都好，我就是要进去。然后呢，下一段呢，开始。相关的经验、相关的能力，来表现自己的才华，说服人家。从这段开始要说服人家，要用名，对不对？然后倒数第二段呢？举实际的经验 ，very good, impressive, OK， 举实际的经验，然后最后一段呢？对，说明哪一天你可以去 interview， 对不对？即使他没有叫你 interview， 你也要自己自告奋勇说，我哪一天可以去，当然刚好那天他有空，也没有排到，可能他就会叫你来了 ，OK。然后呢，最后要注意什么？签名，没错，最后要签名。签名的下面呢要什么？要打字，来打字，这样人家才看得懂啊。因为我们的 handwriting 呢，有时候太潦草、太艺术了人家看不懂，所以一定要打字。OK， 这个就是 cover letter 如果呢你真的需要 English resume， 那你应该就是要找外商公司像这种外商公司，他们是很西化的他们不要你的 autobiography， 他们要的 cover letter 更重要。Okay, so so we finished 3 parts. Alright, now let's move to introduction. Alright, 怎么介绍自己，自我介绍。Right, usually you only have 1 minute, 2 minutes to introduce yourself. Okay, you are required to introduce yourself all the time. 常常会被要求自我介绍，对不对？每一堂课新的课程啦，参加活动啦，自我介绍啦，还有如果你去 interview 的话，他一定 please introduce yourself。你先讲一下你自己，然后再从你的自我介绍当中挑一些问题来问你比如说你来参加过 I attended 什么什么I attended 什么什么 contest, right? 然后就问你说what did you learn from the contest? Alright, what words you received from the contest? Right? You can say that even you didn't receive any words, right? You can say that even I didn't receive any words, but I learned a lot, right? I learned how to deal with the anxiety. Alright, deal with anxiety. 怎么样处理自己的焦虑，紧张。Okay, so here, this is a good. Before we talk about introduction, okay, let's watch a video. You can see good example and a bad example.
One of the most commonly asked questions is, "Tell me about yourself." Most people find this difficult to respond to. Scenario: Company, a pharmaceutical company.
Okay, here's the situation. 他给你一个故事背景哦。Right, so interview scenario. You know scenario, right? Scenario means condition. Scenario 状况一。Okay, company, pharmaceutical company. 什么是 pharmaceutical company? What is pharmaceutical company? Pharmacy. Have you ever heard of pharmacy? 药，对，医药所以这个是一个药厂可能是什么大药厂，飞瑞大药厂，药厂之类的。Okay, pharmaceutical company, right? Applicant 是一个 freshman graduate， 刚刚毕业的新鲜人，跟你们一样的。Right, and position applied for 是 sales representative， 叫做业务代表。好，然后我们来看看这里呢，有2个人他们做了不同的示范。第一位
Applicant, a fresh graduate. Position applied for, sales representative.
So tell me something about yourself.
Bad answer.
I'm Jose Cruz, and my friends call me Nonoy. I'm 23 years old, and my parents married early, and what happened was they separated. So my mom remarried after a couple of years. Now I have a stepbrother and 2 stepsisters.
Interviewers.
他讲得好不好？他在讲什么这个就把他轰出去了，直接轰出去，对不对？他说什么？他说他爸妈结婚得早，所以就离婚了。然后他妈妈又再嫁，所以他现在有一个 stepbrother， 什么在讲这些这些都不能讲这个是加私事都不要讲而且这没有加分的效果。我们这样讲就要讲加分的效果所以
Only have an attention span of 60 seconds. Never miss every opportunity to sell yourself, so do not give generic personal answers. Your answer about yourself should be limited to 3 key points that make you qualify for the position that you are applying for. Concrete and specific achievements and accomplishments would be desired.
Okay, so concrete, right? And the specific achievement and accomplishments. 就这些就讲你的成就，你的 score， right？ 你的 major， 你的 minor，double minor 或者是什么就讲你所 you have done， you have done your achievement only.
Very personal stuff should be avoided, and anything that would put you in a bad light should be minimized.
That's a good
I have an
answer.
innate passion for sales. When I was 12 years old, I was already selling items to my friends and relatives. During that summer, I was able to raise 5,000 pesos just by selling low-end chocolates to my classmates. And with those earnings, I was able to buy a BMX bike that I wanted over that summer.
他讲这是 good example 但是他的内容就是说呢，他从小呢就对 sales 很有兴趣他一个夏天他就卖了那个 low end chocolate， 他卖那个便宜的巧克力卖给他的朋友跟他的亲戚，然后呢那个夏天他就赚了5000块的 peso 好像跟我们台币差不多，对不对？就是所以他在小时候呢，他就这样子赚钱所以他告诉你说他多么喜欢做生意。
I could say that I'm also passionate with relating to people. During my college years, I joined a lot of organizations in my school and became an officer. Being able to excel in those organizations shows my good time management skills. And lastly, I am an achiever. I have excellent academic grades together with the extracurricular activities to the point that I have managed to graduate as a cum laude.
Okay, but you just emphasize your achievement, right? Something you have done before to improve that you have this professional skills. Okay, so about you, when you introduce yourself, you put your name, of course, your education, and your competence, all right, and also prospective career, all right. Why do you want to join this career? Because you have passion. How do you improve that you have the passion? Then you give some examples, all right, give some evidence. And finally, if you do have time, you can talk about your hobby, all right. Now, here's also a very clear example.
Hi, my name is Gordon Torikesu. I actually go by Pete. I just completed my bachelor degree from Ohio Wesleyan University in a major of economic management concentrated and double minor in philosophy and psychology. This curriculum has prepared me to be a fast learner with high interpersonal skill, as well as high integrity and responsibility. Currently, I'm looking for a job in the business management field, marketing, or anything related to that. And also in my free time, I actually play sport, swim, tennis, or play music, or sometimes gain more knowledge in a topic interest by reading. Thank you.
Okay, that's clear and very clear, very pure, and also confidence. You can see his confidence, right? So this is how to introduce yourself. Okay, I put some tips. You can take a look at page 7. Okay, you can take a look at page 7 here. Alright, I put some tips so you can read, alright, you can read afterwards. Okay, you only have 1 minute to impress the selector, to impress the interviewer, alright? So you may hold this good opportunity to introduce yourself. You can practice a lot, right? Actually, just only 1 minute, you try to memorize the lines that you are going to say, okay? And try to practice many times. Okay, so let's skip this part, alright? Introduce yourself. Now let's go to the last part. Okay, last part is interview, alright? The most scary part, okay, very scary. Okay, before we get started the interview, I want you to watch this video. When we want to get a job,
how much do you think you qualify for this job?
Don't punch me! Please!
That's a crazy guy.
Don't touch me! Let me out!
Very good, huh?
Okay, so if you get a job interview, try to find some of your friends, alright? Go together, okay? And sacrifice something, you win, okay? Alright, now about the interview, there are so many tips for interview, okay? First of all, we're nervous, right? So I'm gonna talk about how to Okay, we're going to talk about how to deal with interview anxiety, right? 紧张，大家都很紧张哈。那个 interviewer 其实也很紧张哈，因为他也要想问你什么问题呀。Okay, so we're going to review a lot of questions. Okay, like how to deal with interview anxiety, how to prepare for your interview, and questions to ask before the interview. You can answer some questions before going to the interview, all right? And the interview do and don'ts, all right? Something you can do, something you cannot do, right, during the interview. Okay, or things to remember during the interview. Okay, and the positive interview questions to ask interviewer, and the usual salary. Okay, can I ask your salary? Can I? How to deal with the salary, right? Issue is a big issue, right? Okay, and what to do after the interview? How to dress for success. Okay, now let's start from the first one. Okay, Interviewing for a job is often filled with anxiety and fear, right? We are scared, okay? And how to prepare ourselves, and become more self-confident and relaxed? How? Okay, there's no any tip, alright, for this. Just be well prepared. Okay, so to release your anxiety, the only way is to be well prepared. If you are well prepared, then you won't be that nervous. Okay, so be prepared. Okay, and how to prepare? The second question is how to prepare. Well, first of all, you gather work samples, copies of the resume and the references, and place it into a nice case of folder. Alright, 找一个漂亮的folder， right， 把它一件一件的放好，整本带过去， to show how much you care about the interview. Okay, so you can prepare the folder, right? So you can interview, you can use that many times, right? Okay, so and also review your work experience, work history, your study history, and write down the questions about the job or the organization. Okay, and you may want to review your resume. Okay, 看一下 resume， 有时候我们写一写，如果它中间有一些不太真实的，你可能会忘记。Alright, so you try to review your resume before going to the interview. Alright, and practice your answers and common interview questions. There are a bunch of questions. Alright, common interview questions online. You just search in the very common interview questions. You can find a lot. Right, so you can be well prepared. Actually, you can be well prepared. The first question must be, would you please talk about yourself? Would you please introduce yourself? Okay, so you may prepare 1 minute speech for introduction of yourself. Okay, alright, and remember to bring a pen, alright? Because usually we record everything in our cell phone, okay? But a pen is very important because they may ask you to sign some documents, okay? Like when you arrive, they may ask you to sign the application form, okay? So always bring a pen. Alright, so how to prepare? Before the interview, you may prepare the following things. Okay, and then the questions to ask before the interview. Before going to the interview, you can pick up the phone and call. Okay, make a phone call. You can ask how many people will be interviewing me. Okay, so you will be well prepared. If you have a lot, then you know that there will be a very nervous situation. Okay, and will I be the only one interviewed during this time? Okay, or on some interviews they invite 3 or even 2, 3, 5 people interview all together. They may ask you some question and see who is going to answer the question. Alright, not just one by one, not always one by one. Sometimes they have 3. If they have a lot of applicants, right, they may invite 3 every time. 3. Alright, so you can ask, right, will I be the only one during the interview, or how many people will be interviewed right at the same time? Okay, or what kind of questions will be asked? You can ask, right? If they are willing to tell you, then you get information, alright? If not, that's fine. Alright, and how can I be best prepared for the interview? What are the names of my interviewers? Okay, if you can get the name before the interview, right? So when you get into the venue, then you can say, good morning, good morning, Mr. Zhang. Good morning, President Pong, things like that. That would be very impressive. Alright, I'm sure you will be hired. Okay, if you can recognize their name. Okay, so before you go to the interview, don't forget to research the company. Right? You can use it online. Very easy. Just search online and find information about the company. Alright, at least you have to know what the products they are making. Right? They are manufacturing. 他们是做什么的？至少你要知道吧，他们的商品卖什么的，他们的商品线。If you are going to be a sales assistant or the sales manager, right? Overseas, then you have to know which countries they are selling to. 好，至少你可以跟他随便谈谈。比如说他们有做外销啊，他们有卖到欧洲啊，你可以说据我了解，你们有according to the information online, I know that you are selling your products to Europe. 然后就可以问他would you please tell me which countries you are selling to？ 好，随便谈，好都可以。他会觉得，你好像很了解，他就会给你多讲一些，好，就可以跟他做一些互动。Okay, so and then interview do's and don'ts, alright, do's and don'ts. 在 interview 的时候呢，不可以做什么？可以做什么呢？我们来看一下。Okay, do 是一定要做的 ，alright. Sit on the front third of seat, alright. 今天下午好像有另外一位讲者美丽的讲者会教你们礼仪仪态他说他也会在这边，他也会在下午的演讲中也会提到，alright. 不要全坐在那边要坐直，对不对？然后不要做全部做的大概有大概一半左右 ，OK. 不要躺在那边alright. If you're a man, right, leg it uncrossed but closed. Okay, and women leg or feet crossed if you're wearing skirt, right? Maybe uncrossed but close. 好，这个都是基本的礼貌。Okay, hands are folded in front. Okay, 为什么要这么做呢？你看到很多人讲话的时候都喜欢把手放在这边，或者是放这样那个什么，好像有一个电视新闻的那个，每次他手都会放这样因为你不放在这里。不放这样，你就会乱放，你就会乱摸，就会这样不好。来，他说 interview 的时候呢，要不然你就会去东抓西抓，或者是 tapping your fingers， 所以放这样最好。Okay, sit straight, right, with the head, neck, and chest aligned with the hip. 当然坐直坐挺你一坐进 interview 就垮垮的坐他就觉得说，你这个没什么，好像没什么动机，没什么激励性好像有点懒散的样子。Okay, and don'ts 好，通常这样就可以了。好来，我没有看到刚刚，好，等一下再看。Okay, and do's, right? And you follow the leader's direction. Okay, follow leader's direction 就是说，你进去的时候呢，你不要一看到座位就坐下就是因为他会跟你说 ，please be seated here 那他坐在哪里？不要坐错位置坐到，因为一进去可能只有一张会议桌，通常在会议桌进行嘛他不会是在老板的办公室，他会在会议室。会议室呢，圆圆的，你也看不出谁该坐哪里，他们要坐哪里所以你进去不要坐。如果他说 please be seated 那你再去坐否则你要是坐错位置的话，他一进去的印象不好他怎么会要聘你呢？所以就 follow the directions follow the directions。Okay, don't, right? Don't chew gum 有人说，哎呀，我有点口臭bad breath。好，就是咬了口香糖这样子讲话的时候呢，就会不太顺所以也不太礼貌当然 smoke 是不能的Do not attract the interviewers 不要都摸摸西抓distract your interviewers. Okay, and don't bring family or friends to the interview. 如果你有 friends 或者是 family 的话，让他在外面等不要让他陪你进去，这样他觉得你好像依赖性还很强，那你怎么独当一面呢？好来 ，but even you bring a friend or a family, right? They can stay outside of the building. 他们可以在外面稍微等一下。Okay, and 还有一个and avoid well. 好，这些呢都要去避免因为这样感觉到很没有自信，对不对？你就说，你可以说 yes 是，然后再慢慢的回答。Okay, here's a video. Okay, don't 不要做的事。好，有一个人一大早起来要准备去 interview 了。
So, you're off to your job interview. Looking good, hotshot. It's not just about having the right gear, though. Maintaining good body language will help you secure that job interview and make the right impression, without saying a word.
Just simple body language, 不要太多的 language, right? 好，教 body language. 首先
You're not hungover, you're wearing tidy attire, and you've made the effort to polish your shoes. It's a good start. Your manner and your dress sense certainly say a lot about you, but your body language can still let you down. Here's what you need to know before you walk into that interview room.
By the way, when you're waiting for interview, don't glue your eyes on your cell phone. 不要滑手机哈，为什么呢？因为你是这么紧张的气氛啊，然后你还在这边滑手机，表示你上班也会滑手机。好，所以通常呢，进去 interview 在等待的时候呢，你就做好面带微笑就对了哈，手机就不要滑了，反正才一下下而已。而且走过去的人呢，可能就等一下就是要 interview 你的人，或者是你未来的主管，甚至他是那个公司的老板都不知道哦。所以呢，我们在等待的时候呢，就是面带微笑哈。如果有人走过去呢，跟他点个头，他会觉得你很有礼貌，很 impressive。如果最好其他人都在滑手机啊，这样就可以展现你的展现你的这个优点哈。再就叫大家滑，尽量滑哈。好，来 greeting.
Yeah.
It's always difficult greeting someone the first time.
Okay, don't too hard, alright? Don't shake it too hard.
A little aggressive.
或者是
Your interviewer knows you want the job, so don't astound them with an overconfident gesture.
Alright. So don't overdo it. Don't overdo your body
Avoid
language.
nose-touching, high fives,
This is
air
the
kisses, or
best
jazz
part.
hands.
Best one.
Play it simple and mirror their handshake grip to avoid dominant vibes.
Maybe 3 seconds. Alright, 3 seconds is best length.
The interviewer will show you to your chair. This is the all-important hot seat, and the way you sit conveys a lot of information. Take a moment to position and get comfortable. But not too comfortable. Look relaxed. It encourages your interviewer to feel at ease in your company. However, no matter how informal the discussion, avoid slouching.
这就是 don't 啊 don't 的示范啊。
You're not at home watching the telly now.
Barrier 什么是 barrier 呢？就是缩在
An interview is not the time to come over all shy and retiring. Folding the arms across your chest or turning the shoulders away conveys a nervous, negative or even aggressive attitude.
So don't fold your arms.
That's it. Use your upper torso to define an open and honest attitude. Keep the back straight and tilt slightly forward to demonstrate interest.
Keep your hands away from your face.
Children cover their mouths when they're telling lies.
Alright, children cover their eyes when they're telling lies. Alright， 小孩子都这样啊。如果他在讲谎话的时候，他讲话的时候会揉眼睛，哈，这个就是一个 body language， 就是说因为他不敢看你，他在讲谎话嘛，所以他会这样做。好，所以呢，我们在讲话的时候摸鼻子啦，哈，摸脖子啦，哈，这些摸脸的部分都是有点那个没有自信或者是在说谎好的 body language。所以手不要，我们为什么说把手都握在前面，就是不会去乱摸。OK。
As we get older, this subconscious habit turns into nose touching, cheek brushing, or the tweaking of the tool shed. If you're stroking the nose, caressing sideburns or chin scratching, these actions can make your interviewer feel suspicious.
Suspicious， 它就会对你产生怀疑了。
Right. Avoid touching catching your face by keeping your hands interlocked or relaxed in your lap.
Or relaxing your lap， 好，我手放腿上也可以。Alright, stay focused。看着人家的眼睛。
It's important to concentrate during your interview. Stop constant eye movement or repetitive looks to the floor or ceiling. By moving the eyes around the room, you risk looking devious, apprehensive, or just plain bored. Give your interviewer your full attention. Look and listen.
好，刚刚我们提到了 sit still。
During the interview, don't transfer your butterflies into reflexes like fidgeting. Watching your legs perform a neat rendition of river dance onto the table is one distraction the interviewer doesn't need. Channel nerves into simple yet elegant hand gestures to endorse what you say.
Don't be picky.
Yes, that's a nice try. But obsessive touching or grooming of your garments conveys an element of boredom or distrust.
If you find something wrong with your clothing, just leave it alone.
Well,
Even if you're certain there's a speck on your clothes, leave it alone. No one else will notice but you. Keep your eye contact true and steady. But remember to blink. An interview can be intense, so avoid adopting a serial killer stare. Instead, create an imaginary triangle on your interviewer's face and look within that zone. Try not to drop your gaze below the triangle though. Any further south and things start to get a little intimate.
But, you know, yeah.
Crossing your legs during the interview is agreeable and will not appear as defensive as crossing your arms.
Crossing your arms makes it defensive.
It's useful if you point at the interviewer with your knees or your feet. This will help you position your body so you're focused on them alone. But don't overdo it. Being physically expressive as you speak shows confidence in what you're saying. Use your hands to roll out answers or give shape to your ideas. That's it. The interviewers think you know what you're talking about. However, don't exaggerate the gestures. You're not breaking moves at the local discotheque. And avoid finger pointing. Instead, motion with your hands palm up, as this signifies.
Palm up， 为什么说 palm up 啊？这个也是 body language。如果你的讲话是手是 手的 palm 是朝上的话呢，就表示你讲的是很诚恳的，你讲的是真的啊，不是讲谎话啊。所以这个是他们心理学的一些 body language 啊。So if you're talking about something that you try to palm up 啊，这个是他的一个。
Provide an offering gesture. Perfecting your body language requires practice in a pressure situation. So try to train yourself as much as possible. Doing so will help you iron out awkward habits and prevent clumsy moments.
Love it. Great of you guys. Cheers. See ya.
Well done, you nailed it. Hang tight, your career just might be taking off.
Alright, 这个是动词，我相信大家不会这么做啊，但是一些小细节啊可以特别注意。好，再来呢，还有一些动词be careful about the bad habits like tapping or fidgeting or tapping your fingers or biting your nails or pulling your hair. Pulling your hair 这个有知道吗？这个是另外一种 body language， 就是如果女生 pull your hair， 对吧 ？When they see something, when a girl sees a boy attractive, will play our hair。OK， 这个是就是说，女生看到喜欢的男生的时候，她会玩头发啊。这个，所以为什么说不要玩头发啊？这play your hair，right？Clicking the pen， 这个也不好。好，再来另外一小段，我们看完这段要结束了。
This very funny but very.
On an interview, here's what not to do. 36% of employers think the number one mistake people make on an interview is talking too much. Be careful not to talk over the interviewer. The meeting should be a two-way conversation, and many people try to cover up their nervousness by rambling. Another common mistake people make is not doing their homework. You must learn as much as possible about the company prior to your interview. Otherwise, you will not be able to hold a well-informed discussion about the company. Hurry up! You're late! Your car broke down. The traffic is really bad. Your dog is sick. These are no excuses in the eyes of employers. If you are late for the interview, he can be sure you will be late for work. Don't start talking about money too soon into the interview. If the company sees
So try not to be late. If you're late for interview, which means you may be late for work. So try not to be late.
As someone who just wants the
salary.
money and does not necessarily care about the job, you will be at disadvantage. The way you dress can speak volumes to someone who's meeting for the first time. Don't sabotage yourself by showing up to interviews like this. It wouldn't matter even if you are a professional inside. Stomach butterflies are to be expected, but you can reduce your stress level by avoiding the above mistakes. Be cool, calm, and confident, and you will be on your way to success.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Okay, so there are so many tips. You can always find more information about interview. Alright, so thanks. Remember to bring. Okay, so try to be on time and get yourself ready. Right, you have very neat hair. Okay, and the dress clean and tidy. Right, and here during the interview, be friendly, show your enthusiasm, or be positive and honest, and maintain eye contact. Alright, express yourself. Okay, be good listener. Alright, don't talk too much, but be a good listener. Alright, emphasize your strengths, avoid personal issues. Okay, try not to bring your family issues to the interview. Discuss ways you can contribute, and don't criticize the previous employer, which is very important. If you criticize your previous employer, which means you may criticize your future employer, so people don't like it. Okay, let's quickly finish this. Okay, so about the questions, alright, like a lot of questions you can search online. Okay, like how would you describe yourself? What are your strengths and weaknesses, etc. Okay, and the question to ask, you can ask a lot, right? Like you can ask, what would I be responsible for and the duty, right? And how would my performance be evaluated? How would I be supervised, etc.? Is there any training program what will I be working with, and where would I be working, right? Things like that. But don't talk about salary. You only talk about salary when you have a second interview or when the interviewer brings this up. Okay? If they ask you salary, then you can discuss about this. Otherwise, you just leave it alone, right? Until they give you another chance for the second interview, then you can discuss about salary. Okay, so after interview, it's not just the end. You may want to write a thank you note to your employer. Okay, so here, you can ask when I can expect the decision, all right, or should I make a phone call? Okay, and you can express your appreciation, all right, for their time. Okay, and you can also follow up with the interview with a thank you note. Okay, if you have several applicants, right, their qualifications quite equal. If you send a thank you note, and then they will hire you because you care. They care the chance, you care the job, you care this interview. All right, and if you don't get it, that's fine. You just analyze your performance for the interview, for the upcoming other more interview. All right, so don't be discouraged. Okay, learn from the process and the patient. Okay, very last one. All right, I think you know how to dress, right? So don't dress something casual. Okay, so dress dark, right? Here, dark or neutral color is perfect, right? Okay, and then clean their fingernails, etc. All right, those are not a good idea, right? To drink. Don't dress too casual or for the interview. Okay. All right, that's it. So the key to the successful interview is be well prepared. Okay, that's it. Good luck to your interview. Thank you very much.
谢谢老师今天带来这么丰富的内容，然后也看到各位同学好认真。